Hello everybody, and welcome back. Another really chill video, nothing too crazy, just me, a little bit of a script here, just talking in front of a mic. Now, while I promise that the Kakarot playthrough is still going, don't worry, it is. It's just, this past week or so has been a little crazy for me, so I'm sorry about my upload schedule. I try and give it like a day or two to, really sink in the views or whatnot, get it out there before I upload another, but just been a little crazy over here at GWT. So let's talk about this. By now, I'm sure you have all been following Sparking Zero, and you've definitely heard about the controversy been going on. The screenshots, the glitches, the reportedly 2025 release date, etc. But I'm just here to say, y'all need to chill the fuck out. I'm sorry, but that may be coming out of pocket here, but the game is still very in development. I think that's very clear, and they just wanted to make a second trailer using the assets they had, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm surprised that if you slowed it down, you would see those glitches or errors, or Vegeta's no neck. But in all honesty, I didn't see those in my first watch, but of course, when you're going frame by framing for YouTube videos, you're going to see that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and defend it and say it shouldn't have been in the trailer. Absolutely, with how things are nowadays, you should expect people to be frame by framing, especially since that last trailer we got was so quick, you had to frame by frame it to see Bergamo, I swear. they slid him in there. But I just think it's really unfair to start picking apart a game that's not even close to being out, and for such small things to begin with. It just brings me to the toxicity I feel that gamers have been treating developers recently. Like, it's getting a bit much, guys. It really is. I mean, let's take Sonic Frontiers for example. Its first gameplay trailer that was released, everyone, and rightfully so, called them out on it because it was just a plain piece of bread. Like, you threw Sonic in a world that was open. It was literally this empty space. Then what was it, like a few weeks, maybe a month or so passes, and we get the next trailer and it looks fucking gold, and the game later on got not only recognized, but one of the the more highly rated Sonic games in the past couple years. Sure, it had its problems, but overall made it into my top 5 Sonic games at least. All I'm saying is, of course, everyone has a right to their opinion, and I'm not bashing on them for that. I love the conversation, but I also think it's a double-edged sword. On one end, gamers, especially fighting gamers, have been getting absolutely trolled as of recent in terms of content and fighting games. I mean, don't get me started on the waste of money I feel like that I put into Mortal Kombat 1. Is that a hot take? Sure, but I personally hate the fact that it just had a bare bones roster and that you had to pay for characters that were already in the game, on top of basically having no content besides a 3-hour story and a laughable little side mode. And that's just me personally, and even some friends who disagree on that fact, and that's okay. And the reason why I can say this is because the game's been out for a minute. We knew already right away that there wasn't going to be a big roster, and Mortal Kombat's usually one of those things that takes a while for it to build up the content and everything. But man, am I not gonna knock it down a few pegs when compared to Mortal Kombat 10 or 11, it doesn't make the cut. Sure, the DLC is amazing. I love Peacemaker, I love Homelander, I love Omni-Man, but 3 or maybe 4 DLC characters really gonna make up for the fact that I spent $80 on that game? No, I don't think so. The thing I hate most about nowadays is that there's just this toxic side of gamers that really just likes to shit on anything before the game even comes out, But besides the controversy on Sparking Zero, let's talk about a few facts. Listen, the 160 character slot, I mean, it's outstanding. Now, realistically, it's more like 50 or 60, like I said on my teaser video. If you include their transformations and everything, about 60, 50 probably realistically, depending on who they choose. So overall, I'm not going to complain about that at all. It's still way more than what we normally get from any other fighting game. And the only one that's kind of come close to that is the Naruto game, and that's a whole nother discussion because that game does not look like it's doing too good. But let me know what, your thoughts on the characters you want to see get added below. The game's website has claimed that, the stage breaking, the dynamic maps are still a thing, so that's checked off. We're good there, and from what we can see in the trailer, we can still traverse and do things as of normally. It does look like it'll probably be a little bit more locked in than the past games. You could go around the whole map, you could fuck around while the other CPU or other player can do the same thing. This one does seem a little bit more tight and condensed. I'm not saying that we still can't do that, but it does look a little bit more condensed, I guess, if that makes sense. Honestly, one thing that I do hope, that we can rest assured still be in the game is hopefully we can play key tennis. I don't know if you guys love doing that, but something about back in the day, throwing a key blast, you guys each fucking hitting it back and forth, waiting for it to hit someone. That was me and my brother's favorite. That and beam clashing. Super has officially been added to the roster as of the new trailer. We did get to the fact that they are getting their own section. Because if you guys remember in BT3, there would be Goku early, Goku mid, and Goku last. But now we're getting a super section, so it just opens up way more, it expands all the possibilities of just new and fresh characters we haven't seen in a Tenkaichi game. And I mean, before you ask, of course they're probably going to add some GT characters. That was such a big thing in BT3. And nowadays a lot of people actually like GT. Now, the quality of the anime could be another thing we discuss in my other channel that I'm making, but I think it would be a pretty good assumption that we're gonna get some GT characters. Probably the classic Super Saiyan 4, Goku, Vegeta, Gogeta. We'll probably get, Omega Shenron, maybe Nova or Ice. I doubt it. Maybe just one of them, actually. But I guess that does lead me into my next little segment, game theories. Now, I personally think the story is going to be like any other Dragon Ball game. It's going to go from the Saiyan Saga to the Super Saga. But wouldn't it be great if we got an original story? Now, I know a lot of people hated Fighter's story, but I actually loved it. Ironically, seeing them just chat and relax and, having like Goku talk to Frieza or Cell talk to, just all that, the whole interaction with the team that you can make, I thought was just gold. I loved it. I give me more of that. But I guess it does beg the question, how would they do an original story? Would they go the new Boruto game route where it's, they're kind of making up their own thing but still somewhat sticking to the story, or is it going to be something completely brand new and original like Fighters? But in the end, I can proudly say I don't give a fuck. As long as it's good, we're good, I know it's kind of a cop-out answer, but to be honest, I just want to play this game, and if I have to go through the Saiyan all the way up into Super again, at least give me some what ifs, give me some what ifs, give me, other little stories or the movies in between, definitely try and change it up a tiny bit, if we're going just the normal Dragon Ball game route with it. Maybe just throw me a few curveballs, or be like Kakarot where, you add some little flair to your scenes, Let's move on to possible DLC characters. All right, so I would love to see, besides the obvious ones like that I want, like, Z Broly, Cooler, maybe throw me a Whis in there, so we can get a proper version of him that's not just Xenoverse. I personally really want to see some what ifs like before, like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, or maybe like a Super Saiyan God Trunks, from Dragon Ball Heroes, or just something, man. In Raging Blast and other Dragon Ball Z games, those what if stories always hit different and were honestly my favorite to see and play. So if I had to say 3 that I want that probably won't, but I really do want to be in the game, Tarball, because I feel like I'm the only one in the world who cares about this guy. The fact that, he's been brought up and everything in Super, and we haven't seen a smidgen of Tarball at all, blows my mind. I love the idea that there's literally basically a Goku version of Vegeta out there, like a low rank, nice Saiyan, has an alien wife. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, just cause duh, am I right? That's enough said. And for the one I know probably wouldn't happen, but would be really, really, really cool is Granola. If you don't know who he is, he's from the manga, and I think he's one of the most, not one of the most, but one of the cooler characters we've gotten recently in Dragon Ball history. Just his look, you know, his outfit, his attitude. I think it definitely screams like Super's version of Trunks, you know what I mean? Like Trunks changed the game when he walked up, badass sword, looked super cool, was slick as fuck, Super Saiyan. Granola kind of very much gave me that energy, you know? And I mean, obviously I could say like Beast Gohan and stuff, but we know that's gonna be in the game. Like, I don't know, if you, again, to my teaser trailer, when I saw Great Ape, I immediately just thought like, Orange Piccolo, he can go big, you know, and like Cell Max and all that. Like I think without a doubt superhero is gonna be in the game, without a doubt. You know, maybe we'll get a little Black Frieza versus Beast Gohan. Okay, I know I'm getting a bit dreamy, but come on, can you blame me? For side modes, I personally want all the Z mission stuff back, you know, all like the mission 100 and like all those little things that you could do. But they had like different little mission modes and all throughout the Tenkaichi games that were really cool, that I think that definitely some of them should be brought back. And of course, world tournaments, like those are an absolute must. And guys, world tournaments, we can do online now. I know that doesn't seem like much to most, especially kids nowadays, but growing up on PS2, having to do world tournament by yourself for probably a good over 200-400 hours, dude, just being able to play online world tournament's gonna be great. And I honestly really don't want them to forget about local play. It's very much still a thing. I just really hope, you know, we do get the different modes and verses, and you know, we get a lot more options available to us. My favorite thing was like going into a match, but you know, adjusting certain things, and it was like, you know, maybe we had more health, or maybe in like a world tournament stage I was like, all right, turn floor hazards on, but you know, like turn health up or something. You know, it was just like little things you could do to edit the battle that would make it fun. I mean, other than that, guys, I'm sure this isn't the only sparking video I'll do. It's just something I wanted to, you know, get out there so overall people just can hear my thoughts on the game and what I think about all this glitch or controversy, whatever you want to call it's going on. I just think people need to chill out, and not just about this game, about everything. Like, I'll make another separate video about how we as gamers, I do feel like, are getting scammed a lot of the time. And I mean, scammed kind of a harsh word, but it's, I get why people are mad. I get why people are, you know, starting to raise their voice at developers and stuff. But I also think that it should be, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. You know, I just think that if our voices are going to be heard, let's together release it all at something that's worth targeting. Now, Sparking Zero for a couple glitches in the, you know, trailer breakdown, maybe not the best thing to voice your opinion on. It just makes the developers and all that feel like shit. I mean, personally, I'm not a game developer, but I would hate to work so hard on something, finally and especially this, you know, like, since I'm a Dragon Ball fan, and likely they are too, to release this, to just to immediately see a whole bunch of kids and all these fucking people be like, oh, this game's shit, this game's ass. Again, Sonic Frontiers looked like shit out the bat. Everyone fucking was pissing and moaning. The next thing you know, boom, fucking good game. But we just need to stop going for Twitter clout. But besides getting way off track and this turning out to be a little longer than I wanted it to, basically, just to wrap up, just let them cook. Just let them cook. The fact that we're getting a sequel to this game, this trilogy at all, is a miracle. Because I mean, who would have guessed our little baby trilogy would turn into something so much more with Sparking Zero? We can now look at these games as four, as a quad, and finally get to experience the games that, you know, people have been modding for years, just wanting, clamoring for a new game. We're getting it, guys, but I mean, it's not going to be all sunshine, you know, it's not going to be all sunshine, rainbows, and happiness all the time. Things take time, and you know, I guarantee when the game comes out, I'm probably going to suck this game off like crazy, but in the end, it's probably not going to be the best be all end all be all game. Guys, not everything's a 9.9, not everything's a 10 out of 10, and that's fine because there's always room for improvement. Let me know what characters you guys want to see down below, what side modes, you know, what you feel about the game, all down below. I would love to hear your comments, and I want you guys to understand I'm not coming at anybody. You know, it's just I think a lot of us need to relax. But I think I'm gonna get out of your guys' hair. Remember, if you're ever bored, come game with Ty, and don't worry, you know, Kakarot playthrough, everything's coming through soon. Just had to work on some stuff behind the scenes. Hope you guys understand. Love y'all, and I'll catch you all later. Remember, if you're ever bored, come game with Ty.